My question is kind of a two-part question, but I think they have to do with each other because I would like to be more in vibrational alignment with being confident, and I feel that that will lead me to being in vibrational alignment with having a boy in my life.
We're happy to chew on this with you because we say, what do you want to talk about? And hands go up all over the room. But it isn't the hand that calls us, although we usually do not call on you if your hand is not up because we want it to be your desire to come forth, although it has happened. But the combination of your wanting to know coupled with your ability to allow it to happen is what makes for who comes forward. In other words, there are those who have questions that they are just so intense about asking, but they are in a traumatic place where they're not allowing good things to flow to them yet, and so they are invisible to us as we are looking around. There are those who have easygoing questions that are not all that pointed, that they are in alignment with, but they're not all that pointed, so they light up and there's no resistance, but they don't really light up. You really lit up. And your resistance was not so severe that you put out your own flame, so to speak. In other words, the combination of your wanting to know and your readiness to receive was right there. And so we see you as confident enough. Now, you were confident when you didn't think you would be chosen. In other words, when you were just thinking about, I've got a question, you were out there. But once it looked to you like we were pointing at you,
Me? Yeah.
then that other part of that vibration, and everybody around you stood up. They said, well, if she's not going, I'll go. And that's what you're talking about. It's that second guessing. It's that after the initial launching of desire, the thoughts that I trample my desire to death with, you see. And so all that is required is that you just think about what you want more and talk about why you want it. That cleans up a vibration very rapidly. And when you find yourself feeling the negative emotion that you would describe as lack of confidence, then just try to go up the emotional scale. Now, we'll show you what we mean. When you talk about lack of confidence, interesting choice of words. What other words might you use that would describe that feeling? Does it feel like fear?
No, I guess I just get more frustrated with myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm more shy than...
But shy, lack of confidence, what is the vibrational essence of that? Is it frustration, or is it something more resistant than that? Is it disapproval? Is it unworthiness? Are any of these words resonating in any way? Give us some dialogue around it. Tell us about your shyness a little bit.
Let's see. I don't know. Just sometimes I feel like...
Now, we can hear it in your softness, in your soft speaking. But does she feel all that shy to you? No. Not really. In other words, here you are. This is pretty intense.
No, I know. I normally, when something scares me, I think that I should probably do it because it probably matters to me. Like, if I'm scared of it, I know it probably is pretty important to me.
Well, that's good understanding because your emotions are telling you those two components. How much do I want it, and how much am I resisting that which I want? So you're right. You wouldn't be feeling anything if you didn't care.
Right.
But we never encourage anybody to push forward in the face of fear or even shyness. We encourage you. Now, you're really going to like this. Those concurrent journeys that we were talking about. So, when you are feeling fearful or uncomfortable or unworthy, that's too strong for you, or shy, we would encourage that you talk to yourself until that softens a little bit before you put your hand in the air. And if you are doing that, when you put your hand in the air, then the shyness doesn't overtake you, you see. Do you believe that you have had people who have been scrutinizing you in a disapproving way?
No, probably it's just myself more than anything.
So you don't find yourself wanting to make statements that proclaims your autonomy or your freedom or your ability to choose? In other words, you're not factoring anybody else in. You feel secure? Where does shyness come from? What we've noticed is that when someone feels shy It is almost without exception because they are concerned about someone else's response to them. And, of course, if you've been listening to us at all recently or ever, you come to understand that we are not encouraging you to let other people's opinions be any basis or criteria for your behavior. Do you think you do that?
Well, I really do think I'm the hardest judge on myself than other people. I don't know.
So maybe it isn't shyness that we're talking about. Maybe it is, what's another word?
Just hesitation, just self-doubt, I don't know.
Self-doubt, good word. Unworthiness. But how do you think you got there? You weren't born there. You were born, as we were saying earlier, you were born confident and sure. Obnoxious. You were born obnoxious. In all of you were, in your knowledge of who you are, in your autonomy, in your sureness. In other words, you were. So what happens? Is sort of what we've been talking about all day here today. What has happened, or what is still happening, that is keeping you from that natural state of confidence? You're trying to factor in what this one and that one and this one and that one think about this and that and this and that and this and that. You must surely make yourselves crazy as you realize that there are bodies or groups or religions or political parties or peer groups. There are people out there all over the place who have come to their way of controlling the conditions, or attempting to, who are asking that of almost everyone that they know. Jerry and Esther have a dear friend who just purchased a new car, and he is in love with his car. And in the rear window of the car, the previous owner had applied a very large American flag, which he would have never put on his own car, not because he's not patriotic, but because there are a lot of flags that are being used in a lot of ways to make a lot of statements that he is not necessarily wanting to get on the bandwagon of. And so his impulse at first was to remove the flag, and then his next impulse was, well, I like flags, and I like this country, and so he left it there. But he's noticing that different people are responding to him. He's noticing that he is being seen in a different way, and he sort of likes it. He's discovering that he's being approved of by people who have formerly not been approving of him. You see. And so what we're noticing with all of you is that it seems to matter too much to all of you about what other people are saying or thinking about what you do. And that really is the basis of any shyness. Mm-hmm. When you look through your eyes and you are looking outward, it is always nice to see someone appreciating you. This little girl in the subway shop saw Jerry's appreciation and locked on to his vibration so rapidly it was as if they had been long lost friends. And his appreciation of her and her appreciation of him uplifted both of them. Esther had tears running down her face. She could not believe how beautiful this interchange was. And it's nice when it happens. It's nice when you look out and you see someone loving you. But it must not be a criteria of life. Mm-hmm. And the game that we encourage is decide that you will be one who appreciates. And you are so close to that so easily that there is not any emotional guidance scale work that we need to do to get you there. We would say just put emphasis on your making a determination that you are going to be one who appreciates as you look out, giving no care to any appreciation that you are getting back. Because appreciation that you are offering feels the same to you as appreciation that you are receiving. And the more you are appreciating what you see, then the more you are in that vibration. And eventually, you'll be able to appreciate and then turn the lens of that appreciation back at yourself. But you got to practice the vibration of appreciation. And we encourage you to start where things are easy. Appreciate the weather, appreciate the beasts, appreciate the friendly, furry little things, appreciate the little white dog bouncing down the hallway yesterday. It was love at first sight for Esther. was all she could do not to steal it and take it to her room and keep it for herself. It was so full of love and life. In other words, some things are just easier to appreciate than others. So start there and then work your way up until you have activated the vibration of appreciation so easily that it becomes easier and easier to appreciate this and this and this. And then not so very far from now, you'll be able to turn it back and appreciate this about me and this about me and this about me.
Yeah.
Don't wait for others to appreciate you. Not because you do not have much to appreciate, but because they may or may not be in appreciatable stance. So it doesn't matter how lovely you are, someone who's not in that vibe can't appreciate you, you see. And that's where most of you come to this place of not loving yourself in the way your inner being loves you.
Yeah, that last part's nice to hear. I just kind of get angry at it as well, though. Like as far as
that's all right. When you get angry at it or blameful about it, you are at least trying to take some of your power back. But you know what to do about it. There is such a vibrational difference between appreciation and shyness. And it's interesting that there is quite a vibrational variance between shyness if you're on that fearful, blameful end of it. But shyness is one of those things that has quite a vibrational range. And we feel you light in that range. In other words, you do not feel heavy at all, does she? We think your hair is beautiful. and we think it is a statement of rebellion. As much as it is a statement of, I like something that is bright and beautiful. It's also a statement of, I can do what I want. And does it attract comments, or does it attract, in other words, we think you're asking for it. We think you're testing the world to see if it is able to appreciate you in your differentness. Mm-hmm. And we say, don't test the world, it will fail every time.
Okay. Okay. I was also hoping to have some advice about how to get in alignment with using some more of my psychic abilities and being able to communicate more with the source, I guess.
Well, the thing that we really want you to hear is that sometimes you're more in alignment than others. And at the times that you're in alignment and know it, just make note of it and feel appreciation of it. And even write it down. Even write down the circumstances of it. Flesh it out and maintain, because the vibration is activated at that time. So beat the drum of it and sort of milk it so that it becomes a stronger vibrational part of you. And then in the times when you're wanting to utilize it and don't feel that you are, play those times down. So as you acknowledge what is working and amplify that, then it just works more and more and more and more of the time. The strongest thing that we say to people about that is the creation of that experience is not different than the creation of any experience. Desire it and then let it be. But in this case, the letting of it be is particularly important because what you're wanting to let be is your connection with that broader view, and that's that psychic stuff that you're talking about, is that broader vantage point, is that sensing what the future is about, you see. And so we want you to consider that someone called the office, it was a few years ago, the sheriff of the county that Jerry and Esther live in, looking for Esther, wanting her to work on a homicide case. Wow. He said, we have heard you're psychic and we don't have any direction to go, and we wondered if you could help us out. And Esther said, it's really not the work I do. And he said, well, why not? And Esther said, because I would have to achieve a vibration that matched that. And I would have to work hard to do that. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to put myself in that vibrational place. I work to get myself out of that vibrational place. Yeah. I do not want that vibrational place. And so what we're getting at is very often people who are wanting to develop psychic abilities, often the reason they want to do it is because they want to keep themselves or somebody else out of trouble. They want to see trouble coming. And what we're wanting you to remember is what you're really wanting to do is to connect with that broader part of you. And that broader part of you is joyful. So there is nothing, and the reason that broader part of you is joyful is because there is no resistance in the vibration. That broader part of you, it lives up here in this vibration of well-being and appreciation and love and joy. So there is no process to help you to develop your psychic abilities more than the processes that cause you to release resistance. Mm-hmm. And we like to remind you that your vibration is naturally up here, like the cork bobbing on the surface of the water. You can hold it down, that's what negative emotion is, but when you let go, it will bob back up. So every process that we offer, no matter what it is always with the intent of helping you to release resistance. And in the doing so, your vibration will raise. And in the doing so, your psychic abilities will blossom, because psychic ability and connection to source are one and the same thing.